Hi, it's Cara. I want to do some videos. It's been too long. So what you're looking at here is the review of a painting I did in 2018, where I was at the time. What follows is a video where I was working on fine-tuning one of the roses, and it is this one coming up right here, right where the power cord is. The power cord. I took this video while I was doing Open Studios. Anyway, so it's a sort of slow and quiet video of my self painting back in 2018. And at the end, I'll show you what the whole painting looked like when it was all done. So, okay, so here we go. I've got my reference image here. I've got my palette. I've got my water. I've got my paper towels and a brush. And we are going to fine tune. It looks like this needs a little definition here. This yellow orange center area. I've been working with most of this painting. I've been working at, my reference has been my computer, but I've decided that I'm gonna use this photograph, this printed photograph here. It's printed on really nice paper, the same paper that I use to make my reproductions, because it gives me a little more richness. And though I could make it up, it's somehow there's something about having it be rich right in front of me already, and I don't have to do the translation. That makes it somehow easier. And so that's what I'm gonna do. Mixing my 4 colors, although most of these roses are just going to be the 3 colors, to make all of the different combinations. There's a certain harmony that comes with doing this. It's manganese blue hue and permanent rose, which is Winsor Newton. The manganese blue hue is Daniel Smith, and the yellow is Core, Q-O-R, Core, benzimidazolone yellow. And the potential chemist in me, I loved chemistry in high school, loves to say benzimidazolone. It's kind of intimidating when you look at it written, but then when you make your mouth make the sounds, it is fun. It's sort of a little bit of a thrill, actually. I don't know why it is, but it is. This needs a little more shadowing here. This rose is down at the very bottom of the painting, and it really wants to have more shadow so that it really looks like it is hanging down. And I'm not putting water down first. I'm just painting a little bit and then right away getting my brush clean and then softening the edges and kind of blending it in. I find if I put the water down first, it really dilutes things, and more so than I would think it would. And this helps when I really want to be building layers. Actually, this purple wants to be a little bit more around the corner here of this other petal. There we go. And I saw a little more blue somewhere. This wants to have more of that orange. Got a hard edge there. If you get your hard edges before they've been sitting too long, they really seem to readily blend in. But I find that the longer they sit, the more set they are, and they take more abrasion to soften. Yikes! Trying to blend this area. I've got it heavy here and then almost nothing there, and the more blending, the more lifting.
You'd think that as long as I've been painting that I wouldn't get into these pickles, but I do. It's humbling. It's watercolor. It has its way. More blue out here on this edge. Put some blue along here, just on this underneath edge of the way this petal is turning up, and then get my brush wet and put a little of that pinkish purple there along the top edge, because none of it should be white. The whites are the areas at the top of the painting that have lots of sunlight on them, and this is way away from the sunlight. So this part is too white. Anything that's too white needs to be made less so. I'm going to lift some of that back up, but it's still not white like it was. All right. Now we have some purple that just is a tiny bit brown. So I'm going to put a little yellow in it. And that's down here. There we go. See, I think I see a little bit more of that over here. And then these petals really need to be differentiated. I think that is a little bit more of a blue, purple violet along this edge, just for fun. I'll add a little pink to that just because it's a little too much. I want to keep that edge light because that's what kind of gives it the volume, is to have the variation in color. Picking up dog hairs forever and ever. Amen. What's going on in here? This seems like it's too far up inside that rose to be this light in color. Looks like there's a little yellow, a little red. Let's put a little more yellow in here just because some of the nooks and crannies in these roses are definitely yellow, so I think that'll help things be defined. Yeah, that helped. All right. I'm going to exaggerate this a little bit. Well, even more so than it's already there in the photo. We get to do this. Take a little pink and just a little permanent rose with a little tiny bit of blue in it and kind of just glaze it over these colors here to keep it, have it be rich. Okay, this needs more. And that was some of the permanent rose, and I added just a tiny, tiny bit of yellow to it. If you add a little yellow to permanent rose, you get red. Add that here too. And here too. Soften that edge a little bit. Okay, so this is a little damp. I don't know if you can see it if it's close up enough, but if you can't zoom the video in, and you can see that I just lifted that a little bit. And so this is that place where you want to just step back, let it dry, and I can come back in another session and just dabble in just a little bit of that yellow with a little bit of red and a tiny bit of blue in it to kind of fill in that spot if I don't want it to be, oh, kind of be blotchy. All right, this needs something up in here, and it has needed something. Put some orange in there. Definitely, if you put water over the whole petal, you're going to have smoother washes, but the way I paint, and this is just how it occurs to me to do, is that I can't do anything exactly the same all the time. It just, I'm more impulsive. I'm more, there's almost this like intuition that I follow, and it takes me, has me do things not uniformly, not the same way all the time. And that's not just in painting. This is this. This is all one. Sort of blends things onto the paper. And I think this probably really only works with heavy paper. This is the equivalent of 300 pound. It's a 60 by 40 sheet. And what that means is that the whole sheet, the pound weight of paper, of watercolor paper, is, if you put, I think it's 500 sheets on a scale, what it would weigh. So 500 sheets of 22 by 30, the standard size, weighs 300 pounds. And so if you take sheets of this, 60 by 40, it's obviously going to weigh a lot more. Okay, so I'm going to take another video so you can see the whole painting where I am right now and the rows that I will be heading into next. I'm going to set this one aside. I'm going to call this good enough for the moment and then move on. Okay, See ya. Okay, here's the whole painting as it is today. It's hard for me to get up high enough because I'm so short to get the whole thing in at once. So that's where we are, and this is the rose that I was working on. Seems like it's pretty good. Seems like it's got lots of little subtleties and darks and lights and different colors. And then I am going to snake around. I'm going to move to this rose. Let me get the reference picture right here so you can see where I'm going. Let's flip it around the right way. So I just did this one, and now I'm going to move up here and do this one. I've been looking forward to that. Different shapes, different sort of abstract shapes. So that's this rose right here. So that's where I'm headed next. All right, thanks. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
So looking at the finished painting, this is the little section that I was working on. I was bringing some darks and some definition to this rose. It took me about 3 months to finish this painting, start to finish. It is 60 inches by 40 inches. I called it She Rose, and it has found its home, and I would love to sink my teeth into something big like this. So thank you for being along for the ride. Till the next time. Bye-bye.